Peter, what was the vibe like yesterday?
Yeah, tell us.
It was great, man.
How was the seat this week? Was it comfortable?
The what? The seat? There was no seat. The standing was very comfortable.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I got to the game. It was shockingly, you guys won't believe this, it was shockingly horrible getting to the game yesterday. And
why? From train?
No, I drove.
Oh, what are you, an idiot?
Yeah, I'm gonna back out.
Why would you drive?
You
live in the city. Why would you drive to the Garden?
Because you want the honest to God truth?
Yes, please. That's
I
all
want to enjoy the last month where I can get in my car at any point and go anywhere.
Oh, so this was like a big fat middle finger to congestion pricing.
Yeah, by the way, and also,
but you had to pay a lot of money
time.
to park.
I had a lot of time. It was an 8 o'clock tip. I'm like, I got plenty of time.
But this was all schmooze time that you ruined.
Well, see, Don. Now you got to the heart of the matter and the upsetting part for me. Because I mean, if I'm not going to schmooze, I can watch the game at home.
Right.
And I got a text before the game from Billy Crystal.
No way.
Who said he's going to be at the game with our dear friend Bob Costas. And I wanted to go say hello, but I cut it so close I didn't want to bother. I just went up to the suite. I took it in with some of our lovely partners and our friends over at Good Karma. And it was a good vibe, man. Everyone who was in there was dialed in. It is as the caller was exactly right. It is as dialed in a Garden crowd as I've seen since I've lived here.
We got to break this down. So you were coming from your home in Manhattan, not the estate.
No, in Manhattan.
All right. So by driving to the Garden, it's at least a 50 spot to park in any of the lots. So you're doing this as a middle finger to congestion pricing. Why didn't you just take the train? You take the train all the time.
I don't park in lots. You can find plenty of after 7 o'clock.
You park your beautiful vehicle on the streets?
Yeah, what do I care?
Well, I guess that's why insurance companies go broke.
No, well, two things. I mean, it's an insurance. I have insurance.
I know.
I have a 3-year lease with my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of White Plains.
Yeah.
After 3 years, they'll clean up the bumper if there's a couple of nicks on it. I move on. I'm not that type. But
like Brunson and Hart?
Yeah, exactly. and listen, I got it wrong. I admit I got it wrong. I strongly consider the train. I have to admit I usually take the train to games, but with the 8 o'clock tip, I was like, I got time. I'll listen to some music. I'll enjoy myself. I listened to Benny Blanco, the producer on Howard Stern. Thought I'll enjoy myself. And I ended up missing my schmooze time, which for me, as you know, it cuts me to the core. I could have said hello to Billie Eilish, for God's sake.
Billie Eilish, Billy Crystal, Billy Costas, all the Billies you had.
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan? I mean, really, what's wrong with you?
Bill Buckner, Bill Barnwell.
Billy Mays was there?
You go Billy Mays, dude.
Well, his friends do. You driving to the Garden is a real take.
That's even.
I can't get over it, Don. I can't.
That's worse than what the guy did to Michael in Minnesota.
What do you mean?
There's more logic in the guy thinking that Michael was a closet Met fan
than you
driving to the Garden.
Why is that? You don't understand. I live in Manhattan with a car.
Do you remember?
I drive places.
But here's the thing.
That's why I'm upset about congestion pricing.
Last year's playoffs. Last year, when we went, like gentlemen, to the suite with Billy Crystal.
Yeah, I remember it well.
And I drove.
Yeah, sure.
Because I was able to get the discount parking because I work at the Garden. Remember the disaster it was before? It was like an hour before the game. We couldn't get close to the building and how aggravating it was. Didn't you learn?
I mean, I've lived here for 16 years, Don. I've driven here many times.
Well, you're talking down to Don now. I could hear it in the tone of your voice, and you're the one who lost schmooze time.
No, he offended me a little bit. Didn't you learn? We all learn. I live here. I drive here. You don't get it. If it's just built into what you do, sometimes you do it and you go, all right, I'm going to sit in the car for 20 minutes.
Have you heard the story about Walt Frazier when he went to the Ollie Frazier one? He had to park in Harlem.
Park on 125th Street.
He had to park in Harlem.
I know, 70 and an 80 block walk. I've heard the story.
But you don't listen. You don't learn, do you?
But I drive in the city quite often. I generally don't have issues. You learn how to do it over time. It gets regular. You know where you can park. You move around.
But it didn't work yesterday, did it?
Deal. Yeah. No, it worked fine. I didn't miss the tip.
No, but you
just didn't get
the best part.
So much I would have wanted.
But he was talking up before the game, Michael, how he couldn't wait to go there early and to take in the atmosphere and to glad hand some of the famous people, and he missed on the best part.
He loves that. That's probably more important than the game to him.
I missed the glad handing.
And it could have been easy if he just jumped on a train.
You're a train guy.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm a train guy. I drive in Manhattan. I've had a car since I moved here. I'm not exactly,
Why can't you just take an L?
I mean, well,
you're having a winning
not
season.
an L.
No,
Subway. We want them to take a Subway, not an L.
Because I'm not gonna. I'm not going to have, misnomers get thrown around. I'm not a train guy. That would just be, it would be like saying I was born in Brooklyn. It's not true.
I don't think you're a train guy, but I do think you do.
I took the train today. I took the train this morning.
You do train. You're not against.
Do you like the group Train?
I don't listen to much Train.
They're very good. Calling All Angels is a great song.
I mean, listen, if you watch the news, you'd think I preserved my own life by not taking the train to get to the garden.
See, that's a political statement.
No, it's not.
Everything you make has a tinge of politicism in it.
I know. Well, it's called people who have their eyes open and see reality. Sound very political, but we really just see things that happen in the world.
Don, why don't you tell us about Batfitter?